Well, hello, 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 and welcome to another episode of actually it's ladies and gents, listen up, with our special co-host, Mr. Rufus Carpenter. How are you today, sir?
I'm doing well, Dr. Liz. How are you?
I am doing well, and thank you for another appearance here on our show. You are again a fan favorite, so thank you for taking time out of your very busy schedule to spend time with us today. So I appreciate it.
Yes.
Well, all right,
Well,
before we get started, go ahead. What were you gonna say?
no, go ahead. You, because I'm excited about today.
Ah, excited. Yes, yes, yes. Well, before we get started, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Share this information with somebody else. And we're going to go on over to Grandma's cookie jar, and we're going to pull out a cookie jar of wisdom, a nugget, a tip before we get started with today's hot topic. Y'all gonna want to stay for this one. Alrighty. So we are pulling out. Ooh, dream big and dare to fail. Dream big, dare to fail, and the other side of it says accept failure as a part of the process. Woo! That goes into our topic pretty good today, because today, y'all, we're gonna tackle the subject of loveless marriage. Hmm. Alrighty, so I'm going to step back and put the ball in your court, sir. What do you have to say about the opening topic?
Well, first, before I go to all that, I want to tell you thanks for having me. You're the best. I enjoy these moments we get together. It's a pleasure. Today, I want to do something a little different today because today started 27th of November through December the 24th. It's Advent. If you follow the Christian calendar at all, there's two busiest times. There's two real times of the calendar, and that's Advent. That's before Christmas, and then Christmas Eve on is Christmas tide. So
Okay.
Advent, we're in that season. Since Advent is preparing for the coming of the Christ, I wanna take this moment out to say thank you to everybody, and I wanna talk about love, even though our subject is loveless marriage. But I'm tasked to talk about loveless marriage, so we're gonna talk about that. That's gonna be our task for today. Um, I want to change a little bit because when you and I, Dr. Liz, when we talk, there's a dialogue between me and you that's golden, and I appreciate that. But today I want to concentrate more on your audience today. I want to see if we can get them involved because if they can DM you or leave a message or something like that, that'd be perfect. Because when you talk about loveless relationships, it you gotta there's a lot of parts to that's a moving parts that you have to consider. Now, we could go the easy route, and I could say if you're somebody that's going through a loveless marriage or relationship right now, and you have some concerns, or I could say if you're someone that's feeling confused, word troubled, or just unsure that you're going through a loveless marriage or a loveless relationship. Or I could tone it this way, or phrase it this way, frame it this way. If you're someone and you're saying to yourself that I would like to reconnect in this loveless marriage or relationship, then we're here for you today. We're
Hmm.
here for you today. Now, I would love to say right here that today I would love to teach you 3 to 5 things that would help you get on the other side of that loveless marriage or loveless relationship, and then you'll be fine. But we all know it don't work that way. Time out. It's not that easy. There's a
Okay.
little more to it than that. But what we can do today is we can explore or give you some type of framework for your why. We can give you some stuff you can work on in that loveless marriage or loveless relationship. Or most important, we can say the who has a responsibility in that loveless marriage or loveless relationship. But before I go any further, there's a couple concepts that we have to understand and agree on before I can go any further. And it's real simple. It's real easy and simple. Life and time are broken down into two parts. You're going to argue and say three before I finish, but it's two. It's past and future. That's it. I see your eyes, Dr. Liz. You're saying, what about present?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Go ahead. I'm going to jot down some notes. Go ahead. Yes.
But it's only past and present. Now, for those that need her, I'm sorry, you got me confused. I'm looking at your eyes. It's only past and future. Once again, life and time is broken down into past and future. For those that got to have a present, then let's just call that in the moment.
Yeah.
Or let's call it middle.
Okay.
Let's call it either in the moment or middle. So time and life, past and future. That's the concept we're going to talk about today.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
We're on tune. We're on tune, Dr. Liz. Your audience is on tune.
When you put that present in there, now we're on tune, because I'm talking about like right now. All right, happening right now. So go ahead. Yes.
Now, the way I say that, and we're gonna talk, and we're gonna get a little more intimate in this conversation in a little bit, but I just want to get us out front of what's happening first. Those concepts.
Okay.
Because I want to say that past in your relationship, that past now has become the beginning.
Okay.
Easy? Past and beginning?
Okay.
I want to say that future is your goals or expected outcome.
Okay.
So past,
okay,
beginning,
mm-hmm.
future, goals or expected outcome.
Okay.
All right. Now that we got that, now we can start today's event. Now, when it's hard for me to talk about a loveless marriage, because I was in love with my wife even when we divorced. so it's hard for me to share my experience of a loveless marriage. But I can be a reporter, because in my class work, the BCI, we have a container where we teach business and life twice a week on Monday and Wednesday. And we cover some of these type of things.
Okay.
And I can draw from that.
That's fair enough.
Okay. So when we talk about those things, I can be a reporter. I can come and report to you things that I've experienced in other people who have shared to me they had a loveless marriage or relationship. Or I can tell you something I've seen with my own eyes of people that had a loveless relationship. Now, with marriage, the first thing we got to ask the question is, Dr. Liz, are we talking about a loveless marriage or relationship because people have contracted together, say, hey, look, we're going to be together because I need benefits and I can't do it alone? So are we talking about that type of loveless marriage relationship? Are we talking about somebody just fell out of love and I don't love you no more, but I'm staying here? Which one are we going to talk about?
I think we can talk about, I think we have an audience of both. And not only that, but you said the relationship where somebody comes into a contract with, we're going to, and I've heard of those too, we're going to, I need benefits, you have benefits, maybe I have money, and so now we come together with this. So then again, a loveless marriage, and then we can have the marriage where, we fall out of love with one another, right? People grow in different directions, or sometimes one party grows and the other party stays stagnant, and there we have a loveless marriage. But also, I want to talk a little bit about is marriage protected by love or by knowledge?
Are you asking me that question, or are you sharing that analogy?
It's something that we can talk about, like from your perspective and my perspective. Is a marriage protected? Is it by the love that holds it together, or is it the knowledge that holds it together? That question was asked of me.
I think it's both. I'll wait into that first before I get into the other two things we're talking about. I think it's both. I think it's the knowledge and the love, because if you love someone and spend that time, you can become knowledgeable of them and of the situation. And anytime you're in a union like a marriage or something like that, you have to have some type of knowledge of what's going on, because I don't think nobody's going to see you today and say, let's get married tomorrow. I think there's going to be some knowledge transferred, even if it's no more than asking the questions or putting you under a microscope. You're going to have that knowledge, some form of fashion.
And you just make the point that you should have that knowledge. But because I have a group of people that from different areas that did not have that knowledge. It was lust at first sight, I'm gonna say, instead of love at first sight. And then after that, tingling, the sensation and all this other stuff, after that's gone, then it's like, who the world did I marry?
Okay, got it. Now, love conquers all. We all know love conquers all. The Bible says love, love your enemy. So love covers everything. So love is the easy one. If you love them, it's easy to stay in because love don't hurt. If love, you're going to do the best you can for the person, or you're going to do all you can to make that person feel what they feel. And the golden rule comes into play. So love is the easy one. I love you, so our relationship and marriage is covered for that love. That love is what brings me home at night. That love is what keeps me passionate about our relationship. The love is what makes me go out and work to take care of our children. The love is what makes me see you in beautiful vision, even though you've gotten a little larger or your health is a little bad or you had some medical problems. Love keeps me seeing your heart and seeing that spirit inside you, that God inside you, that wholesomeness inside of you. Love does all of that. So that's
right. And that's if that love is there.
Yeah, if that love. So that's easy. Knowledge is a different story. Knowledge is a different animal. Knowledge is that, in my way of speaking, knowledge is there has to be a benefit. It has to be a trade-off. Mm-hmm. It has to be, what am I willing to accept? What am I willing not to accept? What's negotiables? What's non-negotiables?
So it sounds like a business. So is marriage a business?
If it's acknowledgement, it pretty much is. Once you take love out of it, what you got but a business?
Exactly. It's a business transaction then. Is that what I'm hearing you say?
Yes. Once you take love out of it, what's left? Think about it. Once you take love out of it, what do you have? You said the knowledge, being the knowledge of. That's what it is. The knowledge of, you have parameters.
Right. So then
you cherry pick it a little bit.
Yeah. So in your opinion, do you think a successful marriage requires love?
I'm going to say yes. I'm going to say yes, because whenever you talk about holy matrimony, according to the Bible, it's predicated on love.
Right. And so we have viewers that find themselves in a marriage that either, like I said, somebody has grown further and the other person has stayed stagnant, and now you have this, this quandary going on this issue going on. Or you have some relationships where the one party says, yes, I want to go through marriage counseling. The other party says, no, I'm not doing that. So you have all these little nuances when you talk about a loveless marriage. Like, so what do you do if you find yourself in a loveless marriage? Like, what do you do?
I'm glad you asked, Dr. Liz. Back to our framework that we started on earlier.
There we go. We
started earlier. We talked about beginning, which is the past. We talked about your future, which is your goals and your expected outcome. That present, which we don't talk about, is no present unless you're God. Now, if you're God, you're I am, which means you're always present. You have the beginning, the middle, the end, all of it, the same time. And none of us are God. So we have to deal with either the past or the future. So
help me understand before we get to that, because you're making this framework that I'm still trying to get with, why there's no present, no now. What you do right now determines the future, right?
I'll make it easy. Make it easy on you. Make it easy on you.
Okay.
We're presently doing your podcast, right?
Right.
What time did we start your podcast? How long ago?
About 10, 15 minutes ago.
That's past.
Right.
That's in the past.
Right.
We're no longer present with that.
But we're present here right this minute, though, right?
That minute, now it's past. That minute's gone.
I thought I was literal. I think y'all have met a more literal person than I am.
No, that's past.
Okay.
Now, what we're gonna talk about in a few minutes, that's future.
But right now it's present. We're talking. You're making this.
Not anymore.
Right here.
It's past.
Okay, keep going. I need a sip of tea.
Einstein said, if you can't make it simple, you don't know your subject well enough. That's what Einstein said. So I'm making it simple.
Okay, let's go with simple then. I think I'm complicating it. Let's make it simple. Go ahead.
Okay. But when you find yourself in a loveless marriage, or all marriages, all relationships requires work. Whether it's loveless or whether it's full of love and passion, it requires work to keep it going, because all things erode in time. That's the way you're built. And we talk about the past and future. Believe me, your future is eroding. I'm not going to talk about that big end to the site. We're not talking about the death, but everything's eroding. So everything requires work. So today, if you find yourself in a loveless relationship or a loveless marriage, you need to do the framework. This is the why. First thing, the big why. The why is, why are you in this situation? What's the why? What benefit are you getting from this loveless marriage or relationship? What are the benefits? What's your why? What's your mindset for being in it? What's the why? That's the first thing, and that's the first thing I talked about, the why. Now, the other part of it is, what's the who? Who's going to have responsibility, or who's going to help you get through this? Who's going to make a difference in this loveless marriage or relationship? Who's going to make, not who's at blame, not who's at fault. Who's going to make a difference going forward?
Okay.
Who is that going to be? That who? Is it going to be an outside source like drliz, sitting down with you and doing some counseling or helping you out? Is it going to be a professional like a doctor that's going to give you some medicine for depression or
anxiety?
Whatever? Is it going to be a counselor who's going to sit you down and sort through the issues of your life? Is it going to be a dedicated friend that's going to say, come on now, girl, you know you're wrong? So the who, not so much who's responsible, who's in charge, it's the who's going to get you out of this to the next level. That who may be you, or it may be her, or maybe him, but that who is determined by the beginning and the future, beginning and the goal and expected outcome. Now, the middle, what you call present, we're going to call it middle, because here is your past, here's your future. And I'm holding all of it in my hand. This is the beginning. This is a goal or expected outcome. There's a distance between them. How do you bridge that distance? Because you know where you are, and you know what you want. But where you are is not what you want.
That's good. So
what's going to help me bridge that difference? And that's the who. Who's going to become your bridge? Who's going to help you bridge that? Now,
that's so good.
The first thing we have to do before we go any further, we have to first realize where we are. And I'm gonna teach that. I'm gonna teach that very easy. I didn't have class yesterday. We canceled VCI yesterday because of some things, so we had to cancel. Okay. So I didn't get a chance to get on the platform and teach. So can I teach for a minute?
Go on and teach. I mean, we're listening.
We want that. I need my students more than they need me, I think.
Look, we don't want to always bring the challenge. We want to, bring some light to what the challenge is, but bring a solution. So offer a solution.
So before we can get to the why, before we can get to the who, we first got to realize exactly where we are. It has to be clear. The easiest way to make it clear where you are about your relationship, and this is success work. This is what I'm asking your audience to do. You can either get a pencil and a piece of paper. I brought a piece. You can get a pencil, piece of paper.
All right.
Which is the old-fashioned way. This is for people me and your age.
Well, I always say grab a dedicated notebook.
Always say have your trusted notebook.
Yes, our listeners, they have a dedicated notebook for our
Okay.
podcast.
All right. The younger people, because we got younger people can use their phone. Let me put my phone in here. I got a little code because I got grandkids, so I got a code in it.
He said use your phone. I'm telling y'all, use your notebook because to miss the
But no,
information in your
this
head.
exercise, you may need to use your phone.
Okay.
And everybody's phone can record. You can do a selfie so you can record. The easiest way to do this is to either get your pen and paper and write, or your phone. What you're gonna do is you're gonna tell yourself truthfully where you are in your relationship right now.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna truthfully tell yourself this is just for you, so you don't worry about nobody looking at it or hearing it. This is just for you, and you get to be vulnerable. You get to be honest, and you want to tell your truth. For instance, I'll give you an example. I'm putting it on record, and I record mine. Here's what I'm gonna ask you to do. I'm just showing you, then I'll make it clear what we're doing. I'm putting it on, I'm going live. All right, I'm thinking I'm going live. Okay, let me turn this around. I thought I knew it. Oh, come on, thing, turn. My phone don't. Hey, I'm gonna get with the people pay with everybody else.
We're going back to the dedicated notebook. I may have one here, y'all, this round.
I can see myself now. Okay, let me record. Okay. Hi, I'm Rufus Carpenter, and I'm in a relationship. I've been in a relationship for a few years now, and I'm very content. I'm happy. My partner and I, we're very passionate with each other. We love each other. We're each other's best friends, and we work through things together. We have opportunities that come up between us. There's some times when I've made a mistake, and I really saw my partner. I looked in my partner's eyes, and I could see how hurt she was, and it made me realize that some of the things I was doing I should have changed. We worked through it, and we're in a much better state today. So I'm very aware that I have to work on me before I can work on her. And this is where I'm at right now in my relationship. I want to do better. I want to go forth, knowing that the things I have to work on, and it's my responsibility to do that. Boom. That's all it is. Just that easy. Just that easy.
Okay.
Now with this, I know where I'm at. I know exactly where I'm at. Let me give you another example. Let me give you an example of a fresh somebody you just fell in love with or something. Like you said, you're infatuated with. Let me give you that example. All right, let's start. I'm sharing my relationship with someone I just met. I just met him recently in a daily activity. I was shocked to realize that her and we caught each other's eyes, and the voice, her voice and my voice, kind of blend together. And wow, the sparks flying. I'm so infatuated. I'm really glad that I had a chance to meet her in this way. And we're working on a relationship. This has been about 5 to 6 months. And I can't wait to see where this goes. I'm going to give it my all in all and to do my best to spend the time, the quality time, and investment in her. So maybe this can turn out to be an lasting relationship for me and her. See how that is?
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Now let me do it. Now I'm gonna do an example where it's really a loveless relationship.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's do that one.
Yep.
Okay, I'm sharing my relationship. We're 5 years in, and it's a nightmare. Day in and day out, I sit to myself and feel like I'm wasting life, wasting time. When I talk to her, it's no feelings. When she talks to me, there's no feelings. At times in my life, I wish that I'd made different decision than where I'm at now. But I have too much invested to stop now, to end it. It's almost like that record. Neither one of us want to be the first to say goodbye. But I'm here. I'm just going to wait it out. Until one of us die. That's all I'm looking forward to.
Ouch.
All right. See the example that is? All I did was pick up my phone and did it, or you can handwrite it. We're asking what you do is that you're truthfully, you put it down. You really say what's in your heart. You give your truth now. You tell you tell yourself where you are in this relationship. Because if you don't know why, if you can't look at it and really be truthful to yourself, who can you be truthful to?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Be vulnerable. Share yourself, because then you'll realize what this is doing to you. If your relationship is really tearing you apart, then is it really serving you? It is really serving your partner?
So it's sort of putting a mirror in front of your face so that you can, so you tell the truth to yourself.
Yes.
And in some way that now mentally helps you to really see what it is versus just kind of going along to get along.
Yes, because you got to realize something. You know you. You have to first be true to yourself before you can be true to me. You have to first understand what your priorities are, what your goals are before you can help me. Because if you drown and you can't save me.
Absolutely, absolutely. What they say when you're in a plane, put your air on first and then help other people. So this is what we're talking about versus, drowning in it. Stop, just kind of pump the brakes and just kind of take a picture and look at everything. And now you're hearing yourself say what it is.
Yes. And you be vulnerable. This is to you. If you write it, this is to you. Nobody else needs to see this. So you don't have to worry about, I got to write it so she can see it, or so she'll understand what I'm trying to say. No, it's for you. Write it so you understand what you're saying. So be truthful. Get it all out. No matter what it is, how pretty, how ugly it is, get it out. Be vulnerable. Use simple words.
Yeah. How does this help you?
Okay. It helps you first because you got to know where you are. Before you get into that future or that expected outcome or goals, you first got to know where you are. Remember, I told you the beginning, and then I told you your goal or expected outcome. Yes. And there's a middle ground between the two. You got to bridge that. This is helping you to bridge that, because you're gonna, if you give yourself the time to put it here and write it down, you'll find out your why. You'll understand why things are going the way they are. This is going to develop your why. Because most people, when they teach you this, they're going to tell you how. I'm going to show you how to get your relationship better. I'm going to teach you how to do this. Wrong. That never happened.
Got to know the why first.
You haven't addressed your mindset. You haven't built no momentum. You haven't got no certainty. None of that stuff is there. So there's no way you can be successful with the how.
Okay. So now we have the why, right?
Now this will give you the why. When you look at this, you can give the why.
Okay.
Then once you go through the why, then the next thing is, and this we may run out of time. This might have to be a part 2 next Thursday. Since you said we're getting together every Thursday, this might have to be a part 2, because this is real stuff. This is not us just talking about something in a book. We're talking about somebody's life now. We're talking about making a difference in somebody's life, getting you to see who you really are.
Absolutely.
Now, the next version of this is the expected outcome. What do you want out of your current relationship? What do you call success? Do you want it to continue like it's going now? If that's your goal and expect the outcome, good. We can end it right now. We can say, thank you for the time, Dr. Liz. It's been fun. See you next Thursday. But if you want to change, or you want to get a better understanding, or you want to make a difference in your life, or even you just want to change your perspective of it, you have to realize, what do you want for your life? Because are you sitting there just wasting life? I saw a sign. I was going down North Carolina one day, and I saw a sign. I think it was just before you get to Charlotte, North Carolina. And it had something. It said, it's still talking about your old life, that now you're getting older. This is your old life. Had an older person show them life. But no, it changed the word old to bold. BOLD. Instead of LOD, it put a B in front of it. So it says, instead of saying this is your old life, this is your bold life. So if you in the last stage of your life, this is your bold life. Be bold enough to change this crap. Be bold enough to change it.
Yeah.
So be bold
enough to change it. That is so good.
So now be bold, change it.
That's good.
So now you can really look at what you want your future to be. Do you want your future to be great? Do you want it to be better for you? Do you want it to be better for your partner? Do you want, if children involved, do you want it better for your children? Do you want it better for your grandchildren?
Yeah.
Do you want it better for your dog?
But anybody involved, who do you want it better for? And I do like that. I do like what you said about well, one, about it being a part two, because when you give, like, how do you eat an elephant? You take bite-sized pieces, right?
Mm-hmm.
So giving them enough information and, making sure that our people can absorb the information and really, really start to think about it. So I like this being a series, a couple of, episodes where we can, because people's attention span is not very long, not these days. There's too many distractions and things. So I love what you've given thus far, and I love for it to be a continuation of part two. But I want as far as the notebook, and as far as them writing these things down, because, and what you said, like, even if you do both and you write it down and you actually listen to it on your phone, because now you're hearing your own voice, just like when we read a book and we're hearing the information in the book, we're hearing it in our own voice. So now it's really emphasizing that information and really solidifying it in your brain, because a lot of times, and we're talking about loveless marriages, but we did a couple of episodes on domestic violence, and it oftentimes people say, why do you stay, or why did they stay? And I think what you just taught is, it's essential to go somewhere quiet and understand the why, understand even the damage that the relationship might be doing to you, right? And then now, in our next part two, we'll talk about the future. So now that you explained it, I understand more clearly what you mean about the past and about the future. And also it's about keeping an open mind, because every day we're all learning, or we should be learning. So keeping an open mind to new information, not just using ourselves as our own frame of reference, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's what helps us to grow. That's what helps us to find the loving marriages versus the loveless marriages.
Yes.
Amazing,
Yes.
amazing. Well, don't teach next week either. Come on back with give us all your energy for being selfish there. Your students probably won't like that, right? Because I'm sure that you give everything that you have, and that's why I appreciate you coming on and appreciate you being a part of our podcast on Thursdays, because the information is priceless, and you bring a lot of value. So I appreciate that. Is there anything that you want a takeaway for today as we wrap up?
Well, quick review, and then I'll let you wrap it up. Realizing something, that if I could give you 3 to 5 things that could change your marriage in your life right now, I would do that, but I can't. And no one can. No one can. It's work. You have to do the work yourself. And that work has to work. You got to look at work through your past and decide what you want your future to look like. What's the highest possibility for your future? What's your full plan, full out in your future? What does that look like? And for us to bridge the gap between where you are right now to your future, we first have to get a why. And if you wrote something down, or if you put something on your phone, you can start looking at, why are you going through this? How is this serving you? Or how is this not serving you? And you can start putting together a plan. And putting together the plan is first. And next week we'll talk about what your best possible future looks like, or what expected outcome or your goal for the future. And then we'll talk about how do we bridge that gap next week. Okay.
That is amazing. Yes, yes, yes. I appreciate that. I'm sure the audience is going to appreciate that, because you gave a lot of substance, a lot of, what do I do? And you spoke on something too. You said the plan. It must be a plan, because if you don't plan, what do? You plan to fail, because there is going to be some action that's taken. So if you don't plan it, then the outcome is what, by happenstance, right? So I definitely appreciate that. That's something I talk about all the time, is that a proper plan. We're talking about your finances. You're talking about, anything that you're looking at being successful at requires some planning. Just like if I want to go to Florida, I need to know how to get there. I need a map. I can't just get in my car. Can't just get in my car and just go and just ride, because I won't get there. So that's success. Yep. If I want to get there successfully, there must be a plan. So yes. All righty. Did you have? I saw you put your hand up. Did you have one more thing that you want to share, or you're all good for today?
Yeah, what I want to say is, please put a comment about today's class, today's session in Dr. Liz DM box or underneath, because we want to serve. What I want to serve you, and I know she wants to serve. She's been serving you for a while, and I appreciate how she served you, because I've learned some things through Grandmother's cookie jar. So I've learned some things. So she's serving me, and she want to continue to serve you. And if I'm going to be a part of this with her, I want to be able to serve you. So put some things down in the comment for us, okay? Good and bad.
Absolutely. 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 All righty. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Share this information with somebody else. And subscribe. Hit the red button. Listen, learn, and leverage the information. All righty. Y'all stay fearless. Bye for now.